Hey guys, Bob here. Gonna go over another upgrade I've done on this CF Moto. That is my CF Moto Cforce 600 Touring. One thing I noticed when I bought it is the skid plates weren't that great. I'll grab the original skid plates so you can see what they look like here shortly. But I just wasn't too thrilled about it. The A-arms had no protection at all, and the boots under there had no protection at all. I do a lot of wintertime trail riding where you can't tell what tree branches or rocks you might hit, and it's really important to me to protect everything underneath my four-wheeler here. So I decided to go ahead and do a pretty hefty upgrade, and I chose to go with aluminum skid plates, full underbody aluminum skid plates, and I'm super happy with them. I'm going to give you a look at them. This is one of the upgrades I've done before I decided to start these videos, so you don't have the wondrous video of me cursing and cussing trying to put this on by myself. It wasn't terribly difficult, but that probably would have been a little entertaining. But nevertheless, we'll go over what brand they are, what they cost me, and what I think of them. Alright guys, first let's take a look at what came on this originally. So it was a fairly thin plastic skid plate that are cut out for your oil, to change your oil. They're not horrible. In fact, I was kind of surprised about the quality of them. They were pretty decent, but not the best. I would say a good rock hit would probably crack this. But you had your center pieces. Nothing really came up the front very much. You had multiple pieces here, so there was this was the piece that came up the front underneath the winch. But I'll probably put a still picture of what it looked like beforehand. I did take a couple of pictures beforehand of the factory while they were on. But you know, let's see if I can't put a knee on this. Got a little flex to it. Not the greatest thing in the world, but starting out, if you can't afford to get one of these skid kits, you'll be okay. I would look into the company that I bought these from. I believe they sell just a set of A-arm covers, and that would be well worth it to add on. Alright, so what I purchased was the aluminum full underbody skid plate set from Baltic. It is 1/4 inch aluminum, guys. Super heavy duty. The set, I will say, came in a smaller box than I thought it was going to be, because it is in about 7 main pieces. But these and all their associated hardware, it's about 43 pounds. So adds a little bit of weight to the ATV, but I definitely feel like I can ride over pretty much anything and not be worried about A-arms getting bent and busted or these boots getting messed up or anything. These are really, really heavy duty. Came with some spacers that you put back behind here. You got to remove your winch clip and winch pin in your clip here. Remove this whole section. Every piece of hardware you take off, they come with a replacement for. So these bolts here are from Baltic, and there's some spacers in there so everything fits nice and snug. I would say a little less than maybe a third of all the connections were using the factory screw points, bolt points. There were some clips that you connect and you hang up on the frame that things clip to or attach to. There were some around the side plates under the footwells that you add some clips on, and the main body piece, if you can picture it, I'll use a little magazine here. The main body piece under the middle, you attach 9 little clips to the main body piece, and then they have bolt points on each of them, and you use those clips to attach, help hold on some of the additional protective pieces. So a little hard to picture it, but this is the book, accessory book that Iron Baltic sends you. Little did I know, and I don't know why or where I missed it, Iron Baltic is a company located in Romania. I noticed it after it shipped, and I seen my package was coming through Poland and Germany, and I was like, oh well, I hope I don't get hit with a bunch of tariffs or anything, extra VAT taxes or anything along those lines. And thankfully everything came just fine and didn't have anything extra, no issues with customs or anything at all. It was automatic, went through just fine. This set I got on sale from a holiday sale here. I think it was Cyber Monday or Black Friday, and it was $4.25 was the cost on it. It's about $30 to $40 more than a plastic skid plate set that I've seen on eBay. In fact, some of them were even more money than this. I think it does have a regular price of $500, but I gather they probably run some regular sales on it. So $425 was the cost, and that included shipping. I seen the breakdown, and it was actually about $140 for shipping that they had to pay as a company, so they've built their shipping cost in. Their little booklet here is pretty interesting. They've got all kinds of accessories, from logging accessories that you can get, and they do not only stuff for CF Moto, but also all kinds of brands. But they've got logging accessories, farming and ranching accessories, like all kinds of pretty heavy duty stuff they do. They do have a pretty good focus on CF Moto. In fact, most of the units in their pictures and their examples are CF Motos. That is, if you're not aware, CF Moto is the highest selling ATV brand in Europe. So they've got a pretty good focus on CF Moto, but like I said, most of these are available for lots of other brands. Of course, snowplow and winter accessories as well. There's your skid plates. So they also sell aluminum and plastic skid plate sets, and for, looks like, side-by-sides, six-wheelers, you name it, you can get it. It's got Can-Am, Suzuki, Yamaha, Trapper, Polaris, CF Moto, Honda, Kawasaki, pretty much everybody, looks like. So here's mine here. So the CF Moto Cforce 600 Touring for 2020 models and up. The code is 02.25700. And this looks like it here. So it's got the main body piece, that's the one we talked about. It's pretty rectangular here. It's got those connection points, and those connection points are what these side plates under the footwells connect to. And then there's some other hooks here that hook under the frame. And then you've got a front piece that comes all the way up to your winch that we just saw. And then you've got 2 front A-arm connections, your rear connector piece, and your 2 rear A-arm covers. So let's take a look a little bit more at everything here. So they've got some badging on here. All the welding is super clean, nice and professional. All your bends, everything's CNC machine cut. Everything is really nice. Alright, so any access points you need are already cut out. That's to get to your front and rear diff has cutouts. all your connection points, all their bolts are these. They've got the really nice washers on there, and everything is regular bolts under there for the most part. There are a couple of spots like these little ones here that use Allen heads on them, but they've all got lots of nice venting spots so that you can your mud and snow and things will drip out just fine. I was really pleasantly surprised after that little bit of a rough snow ride we went on that this wasn't just a giant snow scoop. In fact, I was a little worried that it would be, and thankfully it wasn't. Everything looks didn't scoop up a bunch of snow or anything like I thought it would. So I'm really happy there, and whatever it did just kind of dripped right out like it's meant to. I was really worried that these footwells were going to be a weak point with the kind of riding we do in the trails with the rocks and branches and things, and I was really happy when I saw how these wrap around. So you've got your protection here in the front. I mean, this stuff is bulletproof here, it's not going to do anything. And then here was a real worry point for me. I mean, from the factory it's got some metal bracing in there, but look at how it just wraps up around this and protects this footwell. Really happy with that. You got that all the way back to the main frame, so super nice. Just a little look here. So I've talked before about how I don't have a lot of tools and proper facilities to work on things. I was able to borrow a friend's garage to do it in, but what I did is I used on the front wheels just a set of oil change ramps, rode the ATV up onto those, and a couple of solid 6-inch thick cement blocks I put in front of the back wheels, rode it all up on there, so I ended up an extra 6 inches high off the ground on the back here, and about 10 inches high on the front, and I was able to crawl up under there and get to everything I needed. So real great protection. Nothing's going to come up or hit any of these CV boots or anything along those lines, or your suspension, and your A-arms are totally protected under there. And of course your rear diff is all protected, and kind of see that hole cut out there. If you needed to get in there, change your diff oil or anything like that, you can get to all of that. It's all accessible. It's all purpose built and designed for this piece. I did have a little bit of trouble in this back corner getting that bolt on. There's little flaps that they have that you attach. A lot of those attach to the factory bolt holes, but then you attach the actual plates to the other part of that bracket, and I had to hammer on that bracket a little bit to get it to be able to reach and grab up. But really all the lines are nice and clean, everything's nice and tight and even, and that was the only spot I had any grief really. But little couple of whacks with the wrench and hammer got it in there. May actually even be able to see. You look down and right there you can see. So that little bracket attaches to a factory point there, and then the plate bolts into this part. I just had to hammer that down a little bit so that the bolt would reach properly. So that was my way to do this without having an ATV lift, which I don't have. And like I said, front went up on the ramps, got me about 10 inches off the ground there, and I put the backs up onto some blocks, and I just did that by rolling it or driving it right up onto it. And super stable, didn't have any safety concerns, and I'm really happy with it, guys. For the price of, or even less than the price if you get it on sale, of a lot of the plastic sets, this thing will take a beating. I put it to the test the other day on that ride and heard a couple of bangs and bumps and just had no worries. I knew it was doing its job and keeping my new ATV nice and safe. So again, iron Baltic. Overall look is really nice and clean. Makes it look nice and mean. But yeah. Alright guys, we'll take care, and I'm going to touch on a little bit of an issue I had with the factory winch here on the next video.